Hi guys, today is a Friday. I think it's December the 11th, but I'm not sure, but I think so. And we are just going to be heading out to grab a bite to eat, and we're going to one of our favorite pizza places, Antonio's, and then we are going to Airlie Gardens. We went there in the spring, like spring of 2014, and I have a video of that. If you would like to see it, I will link it below. But tonight is called Enchanted Airlie, and I think that it's decorated for Christmas, so that should be interesting. I hope that my camera is not blurry, because it is like really, I don't really like the footage I've been getting at nighttime. So yeah, that's where we're going tonight, Friday night. And then tomorrow, Saturday, we're going downtown to the Burgwin-Wright house and the Bellamy Mansion, and we're going to I don't know, they have some kind of special Christmas thing. We've never been to it before. We've never been to Airlie Garden before either. So we are going to see if we're going to add these to our Christmas traditions from now on. We are at Airlie Gardens. Rami's got the map.
Right here.
We can't see it. Okay, here's the map.
And where my thumb is on is where we are.
I'm so excited. You excited, Rami?
Yeah.
Look at the train. We're gonna walk under here.
That's a really
We're going over here.
I know.
Pole. Big thing. I forgot what it's called.
It says on there the North Pole?
Yep, North Pole.
Okay. Cool.
Santa.
Santa Claus Lane. Oh,
And they're all plastic bottles.
that's pretty. This is made out of bottles. I think it's hard to pick up on here, but yep, this is made out of bottles. I love this tree over here. It's so pretty. This is the butterfly pavilion. See the butterflies? Oh, look at them. They have it. Decorated.
They put away all the butterflies.
Over here, this one looks different. Yeah, I think it's too cold for the butterflies now.
Yeah. Pretty much.
What are these birds called, Mommy? I know they're just decoration, but
I don't know. Do you think I know every single bird on the planet?
it's so pretty. The fountain. Butterflies. It looks like a grapevine, kind of, right?
That's the purpose.
Oh my gosh. So pretty. Oh, the fountain. Huh?
Alright, can I throw those on?
Look, the little sailing area.
Exists. The myths are true. Oh, also some swans.
Yeah, but I think we can get a better look on the other side. Here is a better view of the swans.
And then where's this view? The sea monster.
Yeah, because there's leaves covering that up.
I'm sure it's leaves.
I don't know if it's zoom in or down. Look at the palm trees reflecting off the water. So pretty. Look at the tulips. Gosh, they're all the way down. Look at the flowers, guys. They're just so cute. Another garden. They have snowflakes in the trees.
Never been a touchy, emotional girlfriend, I can say.
This one has like maple leaves on it, maybe? This is, it's like in the tree. It must be, a light shining on it. Do you think we say Rami?
The light and move.
It's just because he ran off the sidewalk. No, he got off the road.
I heard her in
When I said I'm crazy, that he's going to get all up in the grill. I know. Creepy. Yeah. Walk on the bridge.
Mark, do you want to get one inside the water?
It's like a garden or something.
That's what we want to do.
It's that cute. We'll never do that.
She said.
And there's the swans. Yeah, you can see them really good from over here.
No.
What time is it?
This is a cherry blossom. Cherry. What is this one called, Rami?
I am now.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty.
Thank you.
The poinsettias. I hate this camera. Winter Wonderland! Yay! I love this tree. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you guys like all the seahorse and the starfish. It looks like fireworks, kind of, right?
No.
There you go. Get these babies some, baby. I'll have to get you and Buddy some, okay?
They have glitter on them. Oh my gosh.
Sorry. I'm going to leave my phone. I'm just going to... Look, he's got some purple sparklies on his back. Is he getting all ready for Christmas? Yeah. We're going to have a colonial theme Christmas. He's not today.
Pretty sure you're just interested to look at them. Are you?
Yeah.
You should be. Yeah.
Just look. Just like me.
You don't want to feed them?
Nope.
So we're going to start selling tickets if you guys are ready. Let's see. By the time we really get going, I should. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. I should. Then go ahead and purchase tickets? Yeah. And there was a lot all over the place. We were actually pretty lucky.
Hi guys, we are at the Burgwin-Wright house. You're not allowed to film inside, but we're going on the tour and we're going to the Burgwin-Wright house, the Bellamy Mansion, and the Episcopal Church.
I'm here too.
Oh yeah, you can come over here. We're in the garden right now. Oh, he's got to fix his hair. We're in the garden right now. Come on.
Yeah, we are in. There is lovely thing like flowers.
Yeah, and there's the
flowers.
house.
There's like a camera.
And I'll turn the camera around in a minute. But we're not allowed to film here. But we can film in the garden, and we can film in the Bellamy Mansion.
Wait, you just said here.
And maybe the church.
The
I'm
garden
not
is
sure.
here.
I've never been in the church before. So here's the Burgwin-Wright house. And then this is the garden. There's Rami. This is where the garden is. And they have, this is the only really flowers they have over there. Usually they have like a lot of sunflowers because we've been here in the summer. I think that's a part of the house also. But this is the house, the side of the house. There's another view of the house. I think this is supposed to be like a fountain, maybe. Ooh. Yeah, that's a pretty red rose. And there's some, see, there's a bee on that one. Or it was. I think it went into the pedal. Yeah, there it is. The kitchen herb garden. You feel like the llama was nibbling on your iPad. No, I don't think it was. Okay, a kitchen and herb garden. Here's another view of the gardens. Going down the stairs.
And here's the view of the steps.
Yeah.
Nice, good steps.
There's another view.
Of mossy steps.
Oh.
And here's another view of bricks.
Mm-hmm. We're going to the front now. That's the front of the house. That's nice because the last time we came, they didn't allow us. What period is your clothing from?
This is 18th century, about 1760-ish. So typical middle-aged class woman wear this.
Cool.
Yeah,
Look at the garland going along the stairs. It's beautiful.
Bed has a removable headboard along with the fabric you would remove in the summertime to make sure the bedroom would be cool. And this is a dressing table, which could also be converted into a writing table, which was a really, really popular pastime in the colonial era. If you have any questions or anything.
No. Not right now.
Okay.
What period is the clothing you're wearing from?
It's the 18th century.
18th century?
Yes, ma'am.
Who slept in this room?
Guest.
Who is he?
And you'll notice the rope bed, which they would have had to tighten every night before they slept on it. And these are the original paint colors. If you look on the door frame behind you, you can see the paint scrapings. That is a Wright descendant at her second wedding.
Oh.
And if you look out on the porch, young men would sleep out on the porch during the summer to cool off, but it was inappropriate for ladies. Also, you can note behind you,
Floor for a variety of very good reasons. One, smells, because back then, in the late 1700s, the streets were obviously dirt and they had lots of animals. The second part of it would be you would have the evening light and the breeze from the river, and the mosquitoes are normally down low. So you would be entertaining up here. When you're up here, you look out toward the river. The buildings were lower then. They were round, and see his gardens here. They're very nice, very beautiful. The only place you can't see on the property other than the front, you go out and stand on the walk, is you can't see down into the lower courtyard. The furniture you see is primarily European, with the exception of this piece, one of the few American pieces in the house. Family for the punch bowl, but then you have the 1740 lady from Scotland inside of it. Very strong, very dense wood, which made it a very good building material.
It is convex, and the reason for that is going to hold right here, and the reason for that is it will allow them to use the last of the sunlight coming through the windows, and also the candlelight, and it will reflect to all aspects of the room, corners of the room, and gave them a little bit more usage out of this room than they might otherwise have had. The other side benefit was, if there was a couple here recording and sitting on the couch, this is a great little chaperone. If you notice, you can kind of see the entire room. I know.
somebody's gonna ruin it for you.
Exactly. Over here on this wall, that is William Hooper. And William Hooper is one of the signers of our Declaration of Independence, and he is from North Carolina. And on this wall, these are the Claypools. And the Claypools, their son married into the Wright household, Wright family, pardon me. And they were merchants from New England, and you can even see the puritanical influence in the paintings there. They are from the 1740s. Background where I'm from. So I mean, it's all different, and you think, we all came with what we were taught.
I love watching the Long Island media, and part of what I like is her accent. I love listening to her.
One of them left, became a physician, married, and moved back here with his young children and raised them here. And one of them left and became a physician and moved back and raised his children here. And one of them left, and I don't know what he did or how he did it, but somehow he got married and came back here and raised his children. So for a period of 100 years, the Wrights actively owned this house, the last one until 1930. When she died, there were no more Wrights, and the Danes of colonial period bought the house in 1931. And he did store his horses in the church across the street, and he should have stayed here because he left here, and 2 or 3 weeks later he was defeated, ending the Revolutionary War. It belongs to the house. The glass is hand-blown. It is from England. It was imported. All the fruits are real. And the only problem with it is, I'm not sure that they really had oranges. They lowered the floor to make it so that you can tuck in.
That's the jail that's under the house.
When it's English silver, it wasn't legal for silver to be exported from England to the colonies. When they did get silver coins, it was usually Spanish, which is what these are. But they would typically end up with one of these. This is a Spanish Reale $1,000,000. The problem is if you need smaller amounts, you don't have the 8 or the 1, so you could actually cut them up. Poise. That would have been common. The most basic is, of course, the cutting ball. Yep, but this is one of 3 different types. This one's easy. Big cut, small. There's one that has a smaller cup and a bigger ball, and then one that just has a small ladder. Basically, handles of wood, fabric fender, so when you tip it, this is a top launcher.
What is your costume? What do you guys call it? Yeah.
This is typical of 18th century English fashion. This is a waistcoat. I'm wearing breeches and stockings with buckled shoes. The way I'm dressed is a little bit more towards the middling sort. There's more buttons on the waistcoat than the breeches have what they call knee buckles, and then buckles on the shoes.
I can see.
You have to see the top to look at the top design.
Yeah. What is it? Did you do something? Does it mean something when you designed it?
When you spin it, this looks like a circle, pretty much. I'm trying to.
Oh, let me see the inside. Nice. Is that fun painting the top?
When you spin it, it'll just be like a blue line.
Cool.
So literally this was 1776.
Nice.
You have to make it. Literally this was your ditty bag. Your entire life had to fit inside this bag. Everything you own fit in here. If it didn't fit in here, it didn't go with you. And so literally you would learn the art of actually making all these knots so that you could actually make your own bag. Someone would mentor you in how to actually make small wonderful devices such as this, which would be your home
to all your sailing needles, so that way you can repair the canvas. But they would teach you how to make the knots and how to do this wonderful design work on your ship. If you look at my fid, it actually has a small Turk's head knot on the back end, and so I did that because not only is it decorative, but if I have to grab this when it's wet, it's actually going to stay in my hand. It's not going to slip out.
Are you wearing what a sailor would wear?
Pretty much. I'd be dressed up really nice. I'd be one of the navigators or a ship's captain. Now, the hat I'm wearing is your common sailor's hat. Now, all men would wear a hat. You never went anywhere. Even if you're working inside the building, you would always have a hat on. And that was just good common sense. Now, a lot of people would say, you know, well, do you wear a tricorn? Well, if I'm working on something like this, the tricorn's going to get in my way. This is snug to my head. It actually makes me feel better. It's wool. It's going to keep my head warm if I get wet. For most people, they're not going to have a lot of intelligence to do a lot of the work. Since I've actually got ruffles on my shirt, it means I can afford a little bit of the finer things. So I'm the navigator for the merchant ship. I would have to learn how to use the gimbal compass, and one of the nice things is there's a card in here. Now, if this didn't move, if we're in rough seas, that card would bounce up against that glass and wouldn't work. And so literally, if you notice, there are little screws that are inside this housing so that as the ship moves back and forth on the sea, this card stays relatively flat. And so I can keep using this compass no matter how bad the seas get. And so that was a great invention, the gimbal compass. But to find out where you're going, you had to do one of two things. You had to know where you were north of the equator or south of the equator, and you had to find out your east-west area. Most sailors would actually learn how to use something like this. This was your original handheld computer. This would tell you how far you were from 0 to 90 on the equator. And so literally what you do is you'd line up these two holes and stare at the sun. When you did that, this would actually move to a degree. And so that degree angle would tell you where you were north of the equator. Right now, Wilmington's at 33 or 34 degrees north. And so what you could do is you could line this up so every day at noon you looked at the sun, and if this came up at 34, you just kept heading east. So eventually you'd hit Wilmington if you stayed on the same latitude. The problem was when you're out to sea and you're trying to figure out where you are, how do you know where you are east or west? And so to do that, you would actually have two watches or two clocks. One would be set to London or Greenwich Mean Time. The other one would be set to wherever you're at. So every day at noon, you'd set this clock. Now, noon would be your best estimate, so there's not a timepiece that would actually say, okay, it's noon, that we figure out.
To the actual frame. Now, above it, you have a British model. A British model would be ones that were actually made and manufactured in Britain. And barrel, which means that they were more like modern day shotguns. Back then they would be the last royalist broadsword charges. Now, when a royalist would attack, or a Scot, he would have 4 portions. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But as you said, the handle, yes, it would possibly protect the handle, but the solid metal frame was used as more of an assault to strike the face.
We're headed to this church now. Okay, if you're going on this tour, they're lined up. The bags with the candles inside are lined up to guide you. It's gorgeous.
Became a rector of this church. His name was Earlie. St. George in Hempstead. And then I came here. Well, thank you for coming. The rector of St. James Church during the Civil War, who was a big proponent of the South, was born in Brooklyn, New York. So you move people south, they become southern. Move babies lowering the top, otherwise you're in trouble. Well, now the service is. We believe the artist was 16th century Spanish painter by the name of Francesco Pacheco, who was a scholar and wrote biographies of all the important. Have you been to the other places yet?
See the bags, guys? We're following these to the Bellamy Mansion. When see, look how beautiful. Wow, that's so pretty.
This is fun. I like this. Station's glass and ice.
Mirrors, yeah.
Children were actually allowed in this room.
I love the decor.
There would have been ceiling to floor drapes, of course, back then, but this was made to keep them bare. So but they started coming over early on. These are not originals to the period, but nutcrackers were.
Beautiful panels and decoratings. This would have been Dr. Bellamy's library. This would have been lined with books, medical books, and so on. This is the cardinal room. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm not like that at all.
Like what?
That outfit, that's the one thing.
What's wrong with it?
It's not okay.
Why?
Because it stinks, that's why, it's gross.
Oh, it stinks.
No!
Hooters. Cameron? She calls it the Facebook. And the Hooters.
Is whole house.
I know we're going to do after this.
Okay, whole band, sir.
Do you remember the wheelchair, Mommy?
You've been great. I've been really terrific with this.
Or stanzas.
Really, and we knew I needed somebody like you because
Oh, the train. They have a little train going around this strip.
Make a decoration. It's an ornament for
this. See at the very end, boing. That way, when you put the beads on here, then they won't fall off as easily.
Yes.
And these are for the Children's Hospital?
This will be for the Children's Hospital Christmas tree. And you can also make a decoration to take home. Alright?
Let's see your ornament. It's nice. And he made one for the Children's Hospital.
Green and blues. American Santa Clauses have pretty much always been the red and white because of the German immigrants and the Dutch in New Amsterdam and New York. So when it became New York, they were quick to adopt Sinterklaas and the Dutch traditions. So.
I wonder what this room is there. I can't remember from when we came in the summer, like we came a couple years ago.
Came from upstairs to downstairs. So it was the coolest part of the house, especially in the summer.
I can feel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
My hands fell off in a very heated, cold breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good.
I understand it's pretty warm upstairs.
A little bit.
Don't make you come down here and grab stuff and have a simple breakfast without dealing with the dining room. It's very utilitarian. One of the first Butler's pantries here in this area, and it stored all the family china, and it stored the linens and the silverware, and built in, it's original to the house. They would bring the food over from the kitchen on the other side of the hall and they would plate it here. What they would do is bring in big platters or soup tureens and take a ladder and climb up and get the individual dishes they needed.
They would take the embers or the coals from the stove, the fireplace, and put them in here. It would keep the iron warm longer. They also made candles, and these two devices are called pleaters. They would actually warm up the little rollers, and they would crease collars and cuffs. The cot is just a representation of Dr. Bellamy. He had a big, huge plantation called Grovely in Brunswick County, 10,000 acres. And this was the iron.
Some of their homemade Christmas decor.
Closer than washing over in the slave quarters. So they would use
Where's this bracelet on you?
There you go.
Where's this bracelet on you, Mama? Okay, let's do it in the car, baby. No, you have to do it now.
She, on a regular basis, was cooking dinner for 3 meals a day for 20 people. There were 9 Bellamy children, 9 slaves, and Dr. and Mrs. Bellamy themselves. The built-ins are original to the room, and the, well, first of all, back to this cooking, this stove would not have been big enough to cook 3 meals a day for 20 people. The original stove that was here was more hotel size. The food on the table here is a sampling of coastal cuisine with influences by the West African communities brought with the slave trade. You would get the term a pinch of sugar or a pinch of salt for when you were cooking. So, any questions?
No. Yeah, that was better than the field trip I had. Way better.
Oh, that's so beautiful. The lanterns. I know that was the slave quarters. Look at that. That is so gorgeous. I love that. This is the Bellamy Mansion. This is the back of it. Oh, it's hard to get the whole house. And the stairs.